Well, welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. I've been working on getting the van back into shape. Plan on doing some more trips, and plus a few things has been sort of falling apart with it. Nothing really mechanical anyway. It's mostly the setup of it, believe it or not. About, I don't know, 3 months ago, I was running the generator in the back, and I don't know, keeping the van nice and cool. I got my air conditioner back there that will really keep it cold. So I was running that. And I don't know. And then a few hours later, it just decides to quit. So it shuts down, and I was pretty much done anyway for the day with it. So I just assumed that it ran out of gas, because that's usually what it does when it runs out of gas. There wasn't no noise. I don't remember hearing a noise or anything to it or what. But so I figured, all right, well, it's probably just out of gas, and that's what I usually try to do anyway. Whenever I went to store it, for long term and not use it for a while, I would always run it out of gas, and then I would put about an ounce or so of hold on a minute, find out exactly what the name of it is. Seafoam. Great stuff, I'm telling you, it really is. The stuff does a great job. But and that's usually the way that I store it long term. Eventually, I don't do that every single time I fill it up. It's just, only when I'm getting ready to store it for a long period of time. Like if I don't need it for a couple months or whatever. And then I use that stuff in there. It's sort of like a gas stabilizer type stuff. But anyway, yeah, I went back to fill it back up, and when I went to go fill it up, it takes 3/4 of a gallon of gas to fill it. And I didn't even use maybe a quarter of a gallon, and it clicked up. I'm like, well, it can't be full already. So I looked down in there, sure enough, it was right up to the top. So I'm like, that's weird. So I went on and just hung the gas pump up, and I think it was like $1. It really was not very much at all. It was like $1. So went on and did that, and then I went on down to the park. When I got to the park, I said, all right, well, let me start this thing up. And I went back, and this generator always started at least on the second pull. Most of the time, 99% of the time, it started on the first pull. But once in a great while, it will start on the second pull. That's putting it on to the start position. And then usually it'll sit there and it'll spit and sputter and bounce around a little just for a few seconds, and then you flip it on over to run. It takes off and purrs like a kitten. It always did, and always did well. It never really been anything and let me down. Got to realize, Lord, we had that generator for what? Something like 7 years. And running quite often on this van. I'll tell you what, so am I sad? No. Definitely, I feel I got my money's worth out of that little generator. It really purred right along for many, 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 many hours, and never gave a bit of trouble. So, and really, the maintenance wasn't that awful bad. The oil changes, they could have made it a lot easier to do the maintenance on them, I really feel. But I don't know what the new ones are now. But for, what was it, $480 or something, I think it was when I bought it. Something like that, $480. I didn't really think it was too bad. Because Lord, a Honda generator at that time was right at $2,000. God knows what they are now. I think the same generator, the new upgraded, or the newer version of it anyway, I believe it's something like almost like $600, close to $600. It's a Home Depot. It's the Ryobi 2200. It's like a little suitcase type generator. So anyway, it wouldn't start, and I pulled and I pulled and I pulled and I pulled, and I'm like, crap, man, did I said, was it the gas maybe left in it caused the problem? So I went and drained the gas out, and no, I mean, it wasn't varnished. It didn't smell varnished at all. At all. It smelled actually pretty good. Took the carburetor off of it, and everything looks to be nice and clean. I mean, I put, cleaner through it again, sprayed all the jets out of it, cleaned it all up, installed it back, put it all back together. Nope, wouldn't do anything. So I started scratching my head at that point. I'm like, so I checked the spark on the spark plug, and sure enough, it was getting spark. So I was like, all right, now this, all right, I got good fuel, and I got good spark. Okay, well, let's see what else. I said it has to be something even deeper yet. So I said, all right, well, I went into the tool shed and got out my pressure gauge. And sure enough, I checked the compression on that. Zero compression. So I put my screwdriver down in there, down in the hole. Yeah, and I was just slowly pulling up on the cylinder. I wanted to see what was actually happening to the piston, and the piston wasn't even moving. So I'm like, all right. So did a little bit deeper, found out that it needed, that it had thrown a rod, which I never had a problem with one busting the rod and not make any kind of noise. It just, honestly, when it went down, it just, like someone turned a switch and turned it off. I mean, usually it'll make a big bang noise or something and smoke or whatever, but no, nothing. Of course, I was also sitting in the van too, with the windows all up and everything, so who knows. I doubt very seriously it did, though, because I would have recognized something like that. But anyway, it needs a new generator. Where the heck is that going to come from? Who knows? So yeah, I said, all right, well, maybe I got my battery bank. So I went and started doing research. I've been having trouble with my battery bank. My inverter kept sounding off a lot. It's been misfiring, I always thought. So I pulled the batteries back out to do it, just to check them all out, make sure there's no corrosion, that kind of stuff. They're all AGM, the gel batteries. Those batteries were the biggest ones they had. I think they were like 125 amp hour. And I got 4 of those, so that was like 500 amps, battery storage. The batteries, I want to say they were like $310 a piece or something like that when I bought them. And then all the fittings look them up. The one videos that I got with my other battery bank that I used to have, that's the one that I have a video on there how I built it and made all the wires and stuff for it. That one didn't last. I mean, I pulled it down quite hard though. I really worked that battery bank, and so I think the failure on that one was my fault, because the inverter that I got shuts off if it pulls down too much. It only shuts off and sounds if it's down like 30%. And the way I understand it is that the batteries apparently can't be drawn below 50% without doing damage to the batteries. I did the tests on these batteries here, and they were all setting around 9. And they're hooked up to my alternator 24 hours. You know, every time I start the van up, it's, you know, it's charging this battery bank. So I don't know why it just would, you know, would not hold charge. But I left the lights on one night, and it come out and the battery was completely dead. I mean, the lights wasn't even glowing at all. And it wouldn't, I turned the key and it just nothing. It wouldn't click, it wouldn't do anything. So I was like, okay. That's pretty bad when a guy has 5 batteries on board. You can't even turn your car over. And I got an AGM in the car too. So the truck itself has an AGM as well. They're the same match, the same kind of battery. I just got 5 of them total when I got them, you know, and that way I have the one in the car as well. But yeah, that one was completely dead. I put the charger on that one and brought it up, because the thing is, I went in and just made sure my switch, you know, my selector switch was on. So I turned my selector switch on. I says, okay, well, let me just barely turn it on, and with the charger up, you know, with the charger on, it would give me enough 12 volts to activate the solenoid. So I activated the solenoid, made sure it was on, and I went to try to crank it, and still nothing. And I'm like, dang, it's pretty sad, man, when you drain that, you know, 500 amps of batteries down, you know, just from an inside interior light. I mean, it seemed like that would have ran that light for days, but apparently not. But anyway, went and had those batteries tested, and I got 3 out of the 4 is bad. That's so it's like, crap, man, I can't afford all those batteries again. So I started looking into batteries, but you know what? This new technology out there, what they call the LiPo 4, I guess, are lithium batteries. I know they're a lot of money and they seem to be expensive, but that was 310 per 100 watt battery, or 125 watt battery. And I saw a LiPo 4 200 amp hour battery for like $780 or something like that on Amazon. I think it was last night when I was looking. That's not too bad. I mean, I thought they were like $1,000 per 100 watt battery, which they had a few of those as well. So I don't know what the difference is between of the cost factor, or is this just a really good buy on the 200 amp batteries? Well, if I got 200 amp batteries, I would need 2 of those to get the same amperes that I carry on the van now. That would definitely operate the van properly. But apparently on size, I'd have to rebuild a new box and everything to mount them in, and do, you know, the wiring and stuff. I'd have to do all over again. So I don't know which way to go. So if anyone wants to sponsor me, hey, that's what I'd like to get, is some of those lithium batteries, because I hear you could draw those down almost to flat, and that's what I need, because I seem like I keep messing these battery banks up pretty bad. Do I use them hard? Yeah, I do. I use them very hard. So, like I said, it's most likely my fault. But I would figure you could at least get more than 5-6 years out of a battery, out of a battery bank, especially a high quality battery bank like that. But I don't know. I'm sure it's just error problems. I'm not too much of understanding the battery technology. I haven't been into that a lot. I mean, I can figure it out. I understand solar. I understand the wiring. I am an electrician, so I sort of get that. I just never dealt with a lot of batteries. I understand the batteries. But I don't know the chemistry or the inner working of all the different style batteries. Back when I had the old golf cart batteries for deep cycle. Maybe I should go back to those, but those are a pain in the butt. They vent. They smell like a dog. Always having to put acid in them and water, and it's just way too much maintenance, for a van situation. I mean, when you get into a golf cart, all right, well, it's all out in the air and it's underneath the seat, so it's not a big deal. But to do that inside of a van, where you're living and stuff, I sure wouldn't want that in my home, and where I'm laying. But the LiPo 4, I hear, is the better battery to handle the heat and maybe the heat's causing it. I don't know. Can heat affect it? I mean, the van does sit, buttoned up and gets overheated. I do live in Florida. 90% of the time I get into it, it's like 200 degrees inside of it when I open the doors and climb in. So it's extremely hot. Maybe that's what's killing them. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's just the heat. If so, leave your comment down there. Give me an idea of maybe the heat might be affecting. I didn't even think about that. And also, if anyone's dealt with this LiPo, lithium batteries, does the heat affect them as well? I don't really have too much. Usually cold is what kills batteries. It's not so much the heat, I don't think. I always thought it was the cold. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and a lot of that stuff's leaving my brain. Oh, I guess I should sort of brush up on it. I understand a little bit better than I do. I've also thought about going solar, but I don't know how much solar I don't know if I could even get as much solar on here as I need to even be able to do that. I'd probably have to have probably 1,000, 1,200 watts of solar power just to be able to do what I need to do inside here. That's why the generator worked out better in that situation. You buy the generator. I did a math sort of. I figured that generator probably ran, I don't know, 10,000 hours probably in its life. So, I mean, you're talking pennies per hour, for the cost of the generator. Like I said, you got definitely well worth your money out of it. So with it going down, it really didn't surprise me any. I mean, even though I kept it in good shape, I'm very, particular about my maintenance habits. And people say sometimes I'm a little overboard with that, but I've always felt that maintenance really makes a major difference. When you're trying to penny pinch stuff together, it's easier to do maintenance on than to replace the thing. But I guess you still have to replace it once in a while. But anyway, give me an idea on the solar. I don't have no clue what the solar would cost. It probably even cost more than a generator. Yeah, if I did, I would probably want both, just to see how well the solar does hold up. If it can even keep up with it. I mean, yes, they say Florida, I'm sure people say, oh, yeah, sunny Florida. Well, it is, but it also has a lot of overcast. So I don't know if it's as sunny as you would think it would be. I'm sure there's a chart somewhere that tells how much sun is attracted all over the world. I'd like to look at that and see just how Florida really is. But anyway. Oh, today's my birthday, by the way. Yep, July 24th. I am officially, I guess, over the hill. Yeah, I turned 61 today. Don't tell nobody. That's almost. I'm claiming I'm 39, holding. But anyway, and I'm considered, I guess, a senior citizen, but I'm not old enough to collect Social Security. Go figure. Oh Lord, it's been a great start of the day, right? And you know what? Have no plans, nothing. No one's called me. No one's done anything. I'll probably end up just going back to the house and taking a long nap. What else can you do? If I really feel festive, I might swing by maybe Publix and get a cupcake and put a little candle in it myself. Better yet, I might just get some watermelon. That sounds good. Oh, I've been having a big craving for pineapple lately, though. Believe it or not. And I love pineapple, but the last one I had was hard as a brick. I mean, I don't think it was quite ripe, though. I mean, it was hard. And it's hard for me to even eat it. And then it didn't even taste sweet at all. It was just more of like a eat cardboard in some places. But anyway, that's how my week and my month has been going. How's your all? I know I didn't have too much of a video for you today, but just a little shout out, let you know what's been going on in my life. What's definitely out there needed. May do a shout out and ask any of these companies out there want to sponsor me. Yeah, send me your batteries, or send me a generator. There you go. Or even solar panels. Yeah, bring it on. I'll take anything I can get. And besides, it's my birthday. Come on, be nice to me. I deserve it. But anyway. Hey, God bless all of you. Smile, be happy. Don't grow old, it sucks. Trust me. But as long as you try to make someone else smile, I guess you're doing all right. Hey, have a great day. Bye-bye.